Hey guys, it's Alex. So, in the never-ending saga that is the 2018 Mustang, this morning I turned it on, and luckily I had my windows down. It's just something that I don't really do often, right? I key on, but don't turn the car on. I key on, put the windows down because it was a nice morning. It was like 77 degrees, which is now what, October 8th or 9th, 77 degrees. That's brisk down here. And I had a nice breeze, so I put the windows down. Then I turned the car on, and guess what I hear? It's very obvious if you've been around these cars, or if you've been around cars in general and understand mechanics and understand how reciprocating engines should sound and all this bullshit. Damn, Zoom has a mind of its own. This car has rod knock. Very slight rod knock. And I went, no shit. I mean, I'm not surprised anymore. This car has 1,800 miles as it sits, and in the first 300 the fuel pump went. Then obviously everyone saw the forks shit in the bed, and I finally heard it the other day. It hasn't even gotten an oil change on it yet. Now, a lot of people don't hear the rod tick because it sounds like a tick. Everyone thinks a rod knock goes knock knock knock, like really deep loud rod knock. On these cars, it's a little tiny slap, like a high-pitched tick. So I heard it and I went, there it is. There it is. I believe it has rod knock, but what I'm going to do is a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to document it. I'm going to document it because if and when Ford decides to buy this car back, or if they don't, at least I'll have proof as to what I'm talking about. I got the fuel pump, and it's all on record. Luckily, everything that has gone wrong, I take it back to the dealership. That's why I am not stuffing a supercharger on this thing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing a cold air. I'm not doing anything. All I want to do is drive the car to see what little issues come up. And in less than 2,000 miles, I've found two. One major one being the transmission, the fuel pump dying. Now, I potentially have rod knock. So now, I drove to Power by the Hour. I come here a couple times a week just to get out of the house and work in a work environment. So what I'm going to do is, the car has been sitting since, I don't know, I went to get coffee about 4 hours ago. So I'm going to put the phone underneath it slightly, maybe right by the tire, and see if the microphone can pick up what I'm hearing. And we'll see how all that goes on film. But I think this car has a bit of rod knock. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put the phone near the tire, turn it on, have it kind of come off a cold start and let it settle, and hear for an intermittent knock. It's like tick, 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 tick. Then I'll turn on the air conditioning. The air conditioning will pull a slight load on the engine and bring the RPMs down ever so slightly, and see if the rod knock becomes more apparent. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I was able to put the phone on one of the treads of the tires. I'm going to get in it. Hopefully I don't jostle it around too much. And let's turn the car on and see what we can hear. And then I'm going to turn the AC on and see if you can hear it a little louder. I can hear it as clear as day, but can you? Take a real good listen. again, with the AC on, let the RPMs come down. I do not have exhaust installed, which is, I think, a key. A lot of people get headers and exhaust, and all you hear is the Corsa loud stuff going on back there, and you cannot hear what's going on. I think this car has rod knock. From the top, you don't hear anything. It's actually very smooth, right? You wouldn't be able to hear anything from the top, so you wouldn't think anything of it. But when you're next to a car, okay, or a wall, and you get underneath and listen for an intermittent ticking. It's definitely there. That's too bad. So I remember when performance package Mustangs came out, the cap was a little different. The cap would say 5W50. This guy, being 12-to-1 compression and supposedly higher revving and quote-unquote performance package, is 520. Is Ford being cheap on the oil? I'm sure they did tons of oil shearing tests and all this crap, but guys, my ears are very good. I'm telling you, there is lower end noise coming from this car. Now, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to freak out, take it right to the dealership? No, the car's still under warranty. What I'm probably going to do is throw 550 oil in it, but I think the damage is done. If you're hearing metal on metal contact, the damage is done. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to drive a little while, and I want to see if that noise gets any worse. I'm going to change the oil. I'm not going to trust the factory oil, for lack of a better word. I'll put some high quality 550 in it. And I am documenting this because I really want to make sure people understand that Ford probably really flubbed up on this car. I understand the 2011 Mustangs weren't super desirable either, but the MT82 wasn't the worst thing on the planet. And the motor, aside from the number 8 issue, had some issues, but this car has had 3 separate things. It's one thing to have a transmission issue all the time. It's one thing to have an engine tick issue all the time. It's another thing to have all 3, fuel pump, transmission, shift forks, and a rod knock, go on in the same car. That is unacceptable. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to the guy who sold me the car. I'm going to say, what are we going to do about this? And then I will report back, because it's gotten to the point where I don't trust this car anymore. I have no confidence in this car. But we'll see about changing the oil. But you can absolutely hear rod knock or ticking or tapping in the bottom end. So sad. I'm going to put the phone near here, see if you can hear it any better. Yeah, it's very slight, and no mechanic, no salesperson on earth is going to tell me that's normal. I come from the industrial field. I know what metal on metal contact sounds like. So, reporting back with another issue with this Mustang is Alex. Just, Ford's going to have to buy this thing back or something, because I can't imagine them listening to this and going, this is fine, everything's fine. Impossible. I'll report back, see what they say. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later. So I thought I had made an ending to the video. I was like, okay, the video's done, it's over with. Let me just, go home and edit it. And then I drove the car for like 20 minutes. And I said, let me put it up against the wall and see if I could hear the sound. Sound is magically gone. It's almost like the tolerances in the crank or the bearings are on the looser side, and it slaps around when it's cold, because once warmed up, take a listen. AC is on inside. Smooth as glass. So I'm not gonna freak out just yet. What I'm gonna do is shut the fuck up and ride out. Maybe, hopefully, this helps somebody out there that has the engine tick out there. And what I'm gonna do is, because when the car is colder, the oil, for lack of a better word, is thicker, if you know how oil works. So I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna freak out about the tick. Yes, I'm making a video, I get it. But look, this is all, I'm educating myself. educating the people out there. I know the seatbelt isn't on. I'm in the fucking parking lot. This car's a fucking, oh my God, just shut the fuck up. Anyway, so if you have the engine tick and you have a performance package Mustang and you live in, you know, semi-cold weather, you might get a tick. But honestly, if it was more prevalent while the car was warm, I would have a mini freak out moment. But it's not. So I'm gonna put some 5W50 in it, some Amsoil 5W50 right out and see how it goes. See, I thought I had ended the video till I drove home and went, damn, this thing is buttery smooth and quiet, like a fucking sewing machine. Really nice and quiet. So I'm just gonna change the oil as soon as possible, get the factory oil, the Ford provided oil out of there, and see how it all goes in the morning, and I'll get you a video of that. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.